was sounding that good? Okay. I was singing. That's so cute. I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're doing the internal structures. You understand? She thought I was singing. And I don't even have a good voice. Okay. So now the internal structures. Do you see the apovitae arrangement? It's like a branch of a tree of the cerebellum. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I'm going to go right to it. What is this circular one in the middle here? What is this circular nucleus? The thalamus. The thalamus. Okay, so the thalamus, you can't miss it. If this is the thalamus, what is this below it? Hypothalamus. You understand? So I mean that's like a no-brainer. Okay, and what about this one, this white one that goes across like this on the top? Oh, no. This white thing, corpus callosum. And you could use the board to cheat too. I'm going to have to erase that.
No, it says do not erase. Yeah, it's all caps.
Oh, yeah. I'm the one who wrote it, and I can undo it. You know what I'm saying? And they were pretty good to leave it. I talked to Bob, and he was like, it's okay, don't worry about it. Yeah, my good friend. Okay, so this, yeah, he's a nice guy, he's so nice. So this would be the corpus callosum.
The white one?
Yeah, the white one. The one that is long and thin and white. You see this one on top?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the corpus callosum. And the one on the bottom is the? Phonics is the F word. Okay, the phonics. Phonics. Okay. And this is the corpus callosum. Okay. Now, if I was to point to this area here and no, it's not the fourth ventricle. It's the first two actually, and the first two we call them the lateral ventricles. So that was, if I was to say, what is that fluid-filled chamber of the brain? You understand? And that fluid is cerebrospinal fluid. You understand? Okay, that's when you would say lateral ventricle. Okay, I could still be in the same spot, correct? And I'm like, what's that structure that separates the chambers of the brain?
Septum pellucidum.
Septum pellucidum. You understand? So do you understand how you have to read the question? Don't automatically think that, oh, the arrow is pointing to here, lateral ventricle. No, read it. Okay, please, pretty please. Because you may know the answer, but, you put the wrong thing. You answered correctly in your head, but you're not answering correctly the question. So please be careful, okay? All right, very good. So we said this is the thalamus. So what is this in front of the thalamus? What is this fluid-filled chamber in front of the thalamus?
The
third ventricle. Yes, third ventricle. You understand? Third ventricle. Now you can chime in. What is this fluid-filled chamber here?
The fourth ventricle.
Fourth ventricle. Yeah, the fourth ventricle is between the cerebellum and the medulla oblongata. You understand? So it's over here. And this fourth ventricle is joined to this third ventricle by this, which is the?
Cerebral.
Yeah.
Aqueduct?
Yes, correct. Cerebral aqueduct.
Wait, which one?
You see, the fourth ventricle here is joined to this third ventricle here by this smooth surface here, which is the cerebral aqueduct. Okay. So the cerebral aqueduct joins the third ventricle to the fourth ventricle. Okay? Okay, my good friends, we're styling. Okay, now, this squiggly white part on top of the cerebral aqueduct, what is this?
The top one?
Yes. And it's on the board.
Which one?
This one here, on top of the
cerebellum?
And
The superior
oh, it can be superior. Yeah. It's part.
Superior colliculus or inferior colliculus?
Which is which? You have to take a guess.
Which one
This one is the one I'm pointing.
Or inferior. The bottom is the inferior.
Inferior what?
Colliculus.
Yeah, the bottom one is the inferior colliculus. Okay, the one that is next to the cerebral aqueduct is because it's on the bottom. This is the top of the brain, right? So this one is here. So this is the inferior. You see, because it's like this. You see what I'm saying? So this is the top and this is the bottom. Okay, so this is the inferior colliculus. So therefore, this sort of
Superior colliculus.
yeah, it looks pink sometimes on other parts, and it's not as white as this. It looks a little bit brownish. So this will be the superior colliculus. So there's two superior colliculus, and 2 inferior colliculi, with an I is plural, so which make 4 things that we call corpora quadrigemina. This is why I was like, okay, you could call this inferior colliculus corpora quadrigemina if you want, okay? But if you call it inferior colliculus, that's even better because that's the actual name for it. But you know that the corpora quadrigemina will stand for 2 inferior colliculi and 2 superior colliculi, which makes 4 things called corpora quadrigemina, okay? But in this exam, I will take this as to be called the corpora quadrigemina as well. It's the inferior colliculus, strictly speaking. You understand?
Yeah.
And this sort of oval shaped, you see what I'm saying here? What is this nucleus of the brain?
Pineal gland or pineal body.
The pineal gland. Okay. I'm gonna do it like this just so that because this one it's kind of coming out nicely. Okay, so what about this one that goes vertically like this from the pineal gland or pineal body? What is this?
Posterior commissure.
Posterior commissure, yes. Okay, the posterior commissure comes down from the pineal gland, and then it goes and sort of continuous with this inferior colliculus that we're saying you could call corpora quadrigemina, okay? And then the inferior colliculus is below the superior colliculus, which is up here. You understand? Okay, and then again, this is our cerebral aqueduct, joining the 4th ventricle to the 3rd ventricle, okay? All right? I said the abovitae arrangement of that. So there's the pons, you see this is the pons, and there's the medulla oblongata, and then there's the spinal cord. You understand? Okay, and then this will be the optic chiasm in the front, and below it will be the pituitary gland. Okay, you understand? Okay, and then this is the hypothalamus, and this is the thalamus. This is the fornix. This is the corpus callosum, and then this fluid-filled chamber would be the lateral ventricle, and the structure that separates the chambers of the brain would be the septum pellucidum. Okay, septum pellucidum. Okay, my good friends. So those are all the structures in the brain. Again, the 4th ventricle is joined to the 3rd ventricle by the cerebral aqueduct. This is inferior colliculus, corpora quadrigemina, if you like. This is the superior colliculus. This is the pineal gland or pineal body, and this is the posterior commissure. Normally, sometimes you see a small dot up in the front here. That will be the anterior commissure, okay, over here. All right, my good friends. So those are the parts that could come in the exam, the internal parts. So my good friend, you can switch it off.